Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. So, just a quick check before we get started. I am upstairs in my house. I am currently sitting on my bed of all things, like a good distance learner. Um, we're having the air conditioner and the furnace replaced in our house right now, and so I've got a fan going on in the room. I have no idea how much my microphone is picking up the fan noise. Do I sound really super annoying, or can you hear me just fine? Can we check that before I get into what we need to talk about today, please? Good morning, Zach. Good morning, everybody who said hello in the chat already for their attendance. Just curious if you guys are hearing a bunch of background noise like fan or airflow or anything like that that is interfering with my communication. I sound okay? All right. Just wanted to make sure, because the air conditioner in this house is super old, and so they are ripping it all out. So if you hear drilling or whatever, that is what's going on in the background. It's almost like life is slowly starting to return to somewhat normal, that we have construction going on at the house, and there's people in the house that are working on things, and it feels kind of normal. So it is the penultimate stream. I don't know if you've ever heard the term penultimate before, but you've probably heard the term ultimate before. Ultimate actually means final. So if you hear like the wrestler, the ultimate warrior, this means like this is the final warrior. This is the top of the food chain. Good morning, Sienna. Penultimate means next to last or second last. So it's one of those fancy leftover Latin words with some Greek in there too. So it's the second last time that we'll be doing this. We won't be doing a Google Meet this afternoon. We'll just be doing a check-in on the course as I had set up before. I am available obviously all day if you have any questions, comments, concerns around work. Just so you know, I have started to mark the essays. You may notice that some of them get returned to you with just a mark and no comments right now. That was kind of like me just using the system that I have to sort of keep an eye on things. But mainly, I'm giving everything a first read through, going with my instinct as to where I think the mark is, or at least what the floor mark is, like meaning like the lowest that it could go. And then what I'll do is I'll go back over the weekend and I'm going to remark and look for opportunities to raise up higher or to offer you some comments and so on. The good thing about the process of the essay writing that we did together, where we went through all the paragraphs and all that sort of stuff, is that you've already gotten a lot of the feedback from me. And if you followed that feedback, then I really won't have a lot to say other than thank you for following my feedback. This is really good. Here's your 95, here's your 92, and so on. The reason why some things may not get 100 yet is obviously to get 100, it means that you're achieving essentially an A-level work in a grade 10 class. And so, you know, to be a full grade level ahead in English is not easy to do. But if you're getting 95 or higher, that's essentially what you're doing. So don't be frustrated if you're, sitting at an 88 or something like that. And you're like, oh, why haven't I got it at 90 yet? Well, it just means that we need to work on your vocabulary. We need to work on your syntax. We need to work on your formatting. Maybe you have some bolds and some structural things that we could still tweak and work on and all that sort of stuff. If you're getting higher than a 72, it means you're achieving grade level or higher. If you're achieving in the 60s, that means you're almost in the grade level. You're right there. So really, if you're looking at 72 or higher, you're really good to go. If you're looking at 80 or higher, it means that you're already achieving in the grade 10 curriculum. And if you're 90 and higher, it means that you're achieving well in the grade 10 curriculum. So think of it like that. So I'm just noticing the essay coming in tomorrow is totally fine. The reality is that I'm not hitting submit on the report card until 9 a.m. on Monday morning. So anything you hand in over the weekend, I should be able to have a chance to go over it and take a look. Like I said, I'm rereading all the essays again this weekend also to look for more opportunities to give you guys more marks. Because personally, I like giving high marks in class, especially if you've put in an effort to try to improve and get better. It's not so much only a reflection of a curricular achievement, but it's also a representation of the trajectory that you're on. So even if you had some problems or didn't hand in some work earlier in the year or whatever it was, but you've really turned on the jets and you've shown a commitment to wanting to get better in English, why wouldn't I reward that? Why wouldn't I reflect that in your mark when you get to the end? Um, so don't give up at 4 p.m. on Friday. If you have work to come in still, then get it in. Okay, that's the main thing. So let's take a look. Go hop into the Google Classroom. Obviously, leave any comments or questions here in the chat, and I'll come back to it. But I just want to point out a couple of things about, especially if you're getting to the point where, you've gotten a lot of the Romeo and Juliet stuff done, your essay is done, and so on. What should you be working on? Should you be looking for? The truth is that for some of you, there probably isn't a lot left. Okay, but when I go down to the older media analysis, for example, and I click on Telltale Heart, there's still 2 people that still haven't submitted that work. When I go into the old Little Brother work, and I go into the quote analysis and theme study, there are still 10 people that have not submitted this. Okay? So this would be the thing where you had the tracking sheet around themes and some analysis of quotes from the novel. Maybe I sent some back to you guys, then I said, this doesn't look complete, and you haven't gone back and fixed it up or whatever. So if you have a minute today, go back and take a look at this, because there are 10 people in the class sitting with a 0 on this task. And this is not a small task. This is like one of the bigger culminating things in this unit. Okay? Like missing one summary here, one summary there, that's not going to sink your mark, but this could actually have an impact on the number, a noticeable impact on a number. And noticeable impact means that's something that could shift your grade, upwards of a % or 2, right? If you miss one summary, it just might mean that your number might round differently. Whereas this it means something. Okay, so go back and check this one. Okay, so there's all your summaries and questions and things. Okay, and then you have for reading comprehension. Okay, this one was a completion mark, so don't worry about that. 2, 2, 1. That's all good. That's all good. That was a completion mark. Okay, when we go into the essay drop boxes, right? You do not need to submit this one, the essay rough draft planning materials. It was really just a place. It should have been flagged as one of these, which is like an information one rather than an assignment, but it accidentally got flagged as an assignment. So if you hit turn it in on this, I'm just going to put a mark of 100 in it and send it back to you, right? It doesn't need to be submitted. Okay, so this doesn't need to be submitted. Okay. If you guys are submitting these still, which I'm hoping you're already far past this, okay, I would much more rather to see a full essay draft here if you're looking for some last minute feedback. But most importantly, the good copy of the essay is right here. So if you notice, 16 people have already put in a full version for me to consider. Okay, I've given them a first read and given a grade so far. A handful of you, I've written back and I said, why didn't you listen to my comments? Because you didn't follow X, Y, and Z, right? So, take that to heart, but most importantly, most of the essays that I've seen are really good. And I think that everybody should be very pleased with the progress that they've made so far in this course. Okay? So for Romeo and Juliet, you've got your theme quote analysis. Okay? Okay, the Why Study Shakespeare, it says, do not complete the assignment at the end of Why Study Shakespeare, please just read. Okay, so for the theme quote analysis, obviously you need to fill in the chart, okay, about context and significance. Okay, so hand this in as soon as possible. Your ACT questions, okay, 1 to 2 sentences for each full sentences. If you make a reference to the text, please note the line number page if you are able. So if people are wondering why they've lost a few marks here and there, there's a task right there that might be a reason. Okay, your body biography. Again, I'm not an art teacher, So I am not marking you based on content around an artistic nature. So if people are worried, like, oh, I didn't have colored this, I didn't have colored that, it's all good. What matters most is that you're making an effort to sort of create a media text that is understandable. Okay. And then your grammar task is pretty much exclusively completion. Uh, it is really difficult, but I think it is important to acknowledge that the reason why Shakespeare is so hard is because it actually uses a tense of English that we don't use anymore. You know, that the word you in Elizabethan times meant multiple people in front of you, whereas the word thou meant singular. And so therefore there was this whole tense around, you know, the one person standing in front of you that we don't use anymore, that French still uses, that Spanish still uses, but we don't. So anyways, give it your best shot. Okay, as you can see, 16 people have given it a best shot, and I would assume that I think everybody who handed it in got 100%, as long as you actually attached it. Okay, so sneak peek on this. Okay, so as you can see, it's not super long. Okay, so you have some thematic quotations, and obviously I'm not going to stop and read over each one. But as I am recording this on YouTube, you obviously can go back and look at this again if you really want to see it. Okay, you're going to choose 4 of the following quotation to analyze. Please complete the following for each. Describe the context and the significance. Okay, and you should be able to do a control at and find it, or control F and find them. And then for the last one is an opinion paragraph, in whose opinion, who is most responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. So I want you to start thinking about those questions. Okay, it is open book, so therefore I don't think I'm spilling, you know, too much of a secret to give you a hint as to what is to come. But that is what your final task will be for Romeo and Juliet. It will come live on the course at 5 p.m. today. Because there are some people in the class who are not going to be around tomorrow. And so, therefore, if you're somebody who is going to be absent tomorrow, then, you know, the whole, all the work needs to be in, you know, by the end of the weekend. But most importantly, that test should get done ASAP. Okay. So it will come live on the course at 5 p.m. tonight. So if you really want to work on it tonight, please feel free. That way tomorrow can be a very much check-in at 10:30, check-in at 2 o'clock, and then be done. Okay? Otherwise, that's all I have to share on my end. We're not going to do a meet this afternoon. We're just going to do a check-in on the course. If you're somebody whose credit is in the balance, I really encourage you to reach out for help, to keep pushing, to keep submitting work. I will return things with feedback as soon as I get it. So I need production. That is the biggest thing I need right now. I just need a push forward to finish things off. Any questions about that? All right. If there are no questions, then I will send you on your way. Keep the messages coming in, keep the work coming in. I'll return it as quick as possible. I should be highly responsive today. So please reach out. If any of the work that's in the course that you want to finish up, you're not sure how to finish it, it doesn't matter if you're going all the way back to the first week. I will help you out. Okay? So just keep it going, keep finishing up strong. Remember that if you have any materials that belong to the school, take a look at the message that Miss McLean posted, and please get that stuff back to the school so that we can start normalizing things for September. Okay? Otherwise, we'll see you guys in a little bit.